What do you think it means to be a fan of the San Francisco 49ers? What is your opinion? I've been a 49er fan for 34 years, since the age of 6. And fandom for me has really changed a lot over the years. Now, essentially covering the team and doing this YouTube thing, putting myself out there more and getting involved on the social media side of 49er fandom has really just opened my eyes to this thought that people have when it comes to being a fan, and really gatekeeping fandom is what I like to call it. You get a lot of people who think that if you don't fan a certain way, that you're just not a true fan. And I think it's BS. I think it's total BS. And even the title of the video is really more of a joke. I said, you're not a real 49er fan unless you watch this. I think it goes hand in hand with this topic and this video here. And what you're seeing is I requested that if you're a 49er fan, to give me pictures of you in 49er gear. And I'm going to be playing them throughout this video. That's what you're seeing right now. And the reason I did that is because I just want to remind people that there's so many different things in life that we disagree on. And there's so many things that are out there to separate us as people. But no matter what, fandom of the San Francisco 49ers is what brings it all together. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, your political party, your age, your social status, how much money is in your bank, sexual preference, your height, your weight, your gender. None of that matters. You're a 49er fan. And I think we forget that. I really do. The definition of fanatic, which is what fan is short of, is a person who is extremely enthusiastic about and devoted to some interest or activity. And that's the 49ers for us. That's what we're extremely enthusiastic about. And we're faithful. That's the name of the fan base, is the faithful. And I think one thing we have to remember as faithful, and what that means, is essentially means loyalty. We're steadfast in our affection or our allegiance to the San Francisco 49ers. But I can tell you, we are all faithful to other things in our life, whatever that is. Usually it's a significant other, maybe it's kids, maybe it's your job, whatever that is. But that doesn't always mean that you aren't going to question things, or you aren't looking out for the best interest of this person or thing that you are faithful to. And sometimes that means disagreement. And that's what happens a lot in this fan base. And one thing that I notice is having this channel, I have a lot of strong opinions on what I believe the San Francisco 49ers should do or what they are doing. And a lot of times that means I disagree with the decisions that they're making. And a lot of people take that and try to use it as a weapon against me and basically say that I'm not a fan, or I'm a fan of a player. Trey Lance is a great example. You're a fan of Trey Lance. You're not a 49er fan. I mean, I guess if 33 years or 34 years of fandom, 30 of that plus came before a specific player in Trey Lance. I mean, I guess I'm not a fan in your eyes. And a lot of people, a lot of you deal with that, whether it's through these chats on these YouTube channels or Twitter or Facebook or whatever. If you're out in social media, if you have an opinion, you're going to get pushback. And usually people end up in the spot of gatekeeping your fandom. And to me, I just think it's wrong. I think it's silly. I think it's laughable. And that's the point of this video, is just to talk through that, you know, kind of be a sounding board of what you may go through. And heck, maybe you've been that guy. Maybe you've been the person that says you're not a real fan. It's hogwash, really. To me, being a fan of the 49ers means I have one obligation, and one obligation only. That's to root for the product on the field when the games are played. Regardless of who the players are, regardless of who the coaches are, when that game is being played for those 60 minutes, I am rooting for that team. And anybody who's playing, I'm a fan of for that 60 minutes. But once that 60 minutes is over, my opinions, my thoughts do not make me less of a fan if I disagree with your opinion or your thoughts. Your opinions or your thoughts don't make you less of a fan if you disagree with my opinions and my thoughts. And there is different levels to fandom. There are people that buy tons of 49er gear and spend their money on going to games and, you know, spend all their time watching film or collecting signatures or what have you. Then there are more casual fans that are like, hey, you know, I watch every game, I love them, and that's where it ends for me. There are people that when the 49ers lose, it ruins their week. There are people when the 49ers lose, it's like, you know what, that sucked, but I'm good. There are so many different ways to be a fan. Because of those differences, because of your upbringing, because of who you are as an individual, that also means that you get individuality to be a fan. However you want to do that. If you prefer one player over the other, if you disagree with the organization, if you agree with the organization, if you love all players equally, it doesn't matter. You have one rule. That is to root for the product on the field for those 60 minutes. Everything outside of that, in my opinion, is completely fair game. So my question is, do you agree with that? What do you think it means to be a fan of something? I'll give you an example. I talked about being a fan of other things outside of the 49ers, whether it's other sports teams, people, you know, whatever. Faithful is what I said. Being faithful to other things. My kids are my whole world. I love them more than anything. And I think those of you that have children would agree with this. You love your kids more than anything. But that doesn't mean that you agree with all their decision making. It doesn't mean that you aren't going to input your 2 cents. It doesn't make you love them any less. It doesn't make you any less faithful to wanting them to be their best. But that's the same way with being a fan of the 49ers. For me, because I do root for them and I am faithful to them as a fan, I want what's best for them. And my opinion of what I think is best might be different than your opinion of what you think is best. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. So at any rate, appreciate you for being here. If you made it through this far, make sure that you like and subscribe and give a comment. What do you think it means to be a fan of the San Francisco 49ers? What is your opinion? Peace.